And I really don't have any formal introduction here. This is Dirk the Red Panda with the Hayseed Knights. Yes, I'm recording 2 episodes in one day just to kind of make up for my lack of appearance. I don't know if I'll make anything more this weekend, but at least you guys are getting 2 videos. Gotta spread the love to you guys a little bit. Yeah. So we were on chapter 2, or starting chapter 2, when we ended last time. We were just about to get into it. Right now, if I can learn how to hit buttons. Oh goodness. Here we go. Anything new? Nothing really. Yeah, really don't have much else to say other than let's get into it. Ghost of the... Oh, no, I missed it. Said Ghost of the Feast, I think. Oh, crud. No. We got lag.
Hey,
Animation...
boss. There you are.
Okay. Alright, that was some lag. I am condensing my other video at the same time. So, fingers crossed for no difficulties. And we're moving on. Alright, Ader looked at what little sky could be seen among the rooftops. The sun wasn't even out yet.
I was so worried that I couldn't wait to check up on you. And sure enough, here you are. But looks like I'm first again.
Oops. First in the contest of people acting suspiciously, that's for sure. But of course, Ader couldn't say a word about it. Oof. Oof, what a slight. She signaled Ader to follow her into the forge since he was already there. The workday would have to start early. Ah, kick something. Sorry. Part of the forge, right? Work at the forge went something like this. Ader worked on her craft, and then she gave Ader whatever menial task would make him feel useful. She didn't have any proper accreditation that named her a smith, so he wasn't technically her apprentice either, but that didn't really matter to either of them.
Why'd you have to make the fire so hot today? I can't breathe.
There was something different in Ader that day. Something had changed, she could feel it. But his beautiful chest got in the way every time she tried to take a look. Oh, looks, sure. Won't be this bod for sure in the future.
Boss, I can see you staring.
Well, we get a different expression from her. Other than anger and disappointment. Oof, lies. I guess... potential love interest? Oh boy. This better not be the love triangle. This better not be. After hours upon hours of hard work, I guess, it was time for a break. Lunchtime. The most tranquil time of the day for both Ader and Ader. We can work from home. That's what I'm thinking. Honestly, it looks like a home. It's like, this is a very huge smith building. That's probably the perspective. Alright, not that either were ever under any real stress, mind you, but the predictability of lunchtime itself helped ease Ader's turbulent temperament and Ader's talkative stomach. We may as well refer to this short period away from the forge as potato time, since this was always the menu at Chez Ader. Chez Ader? Maybe Chef Ader? I like Chez Ader. And potato time. I'm actually lately tried to do something like I'm doing my own potato diet, where I'm kind of like, I'm not doing potato chips, not doing french fries. I plan on doing this for a whole year. Started 8 months ago, and oof, every time I go to any fast food restaurant, it's so hard. Like, I just sit there and go, I'm gonna do a salad or just the burger. And it's like, I want fries though. Give me the fries. But I'm like, I gotta sneak it through. Doing it for a full year is better than saying I did it for 8 months or for 6 months. Like, it just sounds a lot grander. And we have the potatoes too. And double potato time. Okay, today was double potato time, since she'd forgotten to get him some food the day before. The college life again. Starve the night before. Binge the next day. Did that yesterday. Man, I'm paying the price for it.
Thanks, boss.
Raw potatoes. Like, I just imagine him just taking like a raw potato and just be like, mine, and just like snaps it and eats it. Now that didn't sound like Ader. Wait, that didn't sound like an Ader sound. It was me speaking. I'm interrupting all the time. Sorry. Ader tried his very best not to look absolutely disgusted as he turned the 20 or so raw potatoes into puree with his pestle-like teeth. My goodness. I knew they were raw. Called it.
Ah, what a wonderful scene! My favorite furry potato and temple turnip sharing a meal after their heartfelt reunion.
Illigrab, you're back! Yes! God, love that guy. Oh god, he's getting bigger. Illigrab's enormous face appeared next to the window. Ader, for once, didn't scream in a panic, which could be likened to a field covered in red flags. Wait, how low is the ground though? Like, I'm trying to get the perspective. Is he just like laying on the ground and his head's just like sticking up perpendicularly? Like, I'm trying to think of the dimensions of Illigrab right outside the window. You know, he seems a bit too low to the ground.
You don't look so good, Ader. Don't tell me you stayed up all night looking for your sweetheart.
Oh no way. No.
Yep, that's it. I stayed up all night, no doubt.
Oh no, don't disappoint Anna. Hopefully this isn't disappointing
There's no
Anna.
need to be so dramatic, lover boy. Anna's a grown-up. She knows when she wants some space. And it's your duty as an upstanding citizen to respect the wishes of a lady. Or else.
Oof. I would not want to mess with Illigrab.
Your bribe is ready, you upstanding lubberwort! Fine!
And Red's back.
It's a fine, not a bribe.
But Ader cast his gaze down as Illigrab walked away, leaving him alone before Anna's judgment. Or he would have been judged if Anna hadn't turned 20 shades of red and become incapable of rational thought after Ader failed to deny that she was his sweetheart. And I knew it. I'm kind of bummed now, and now I'm split. Who would be better? It's not a debate for now. But man, disappointment right here. I feel like if we followed Anna more, we would get to know Anna better, and then be like, fall in love with Anna too as a reader. Because right now, I'm still wanting more from her.
Hey, boss, I have to leave early today. Gotta look for Geoff's hat. You know how important it is to him, yeah?
Huh?
No, he can't just look for it himself because he broke his leg. Well, no, it ain't broken, of course. He just twisted his hoof in the wrong way. Yep. Okay, bye, see you tomorrow.
Ader ran away, muttering something that sounded very much like prayers to himself. And so the days passed. And I also wanted to comment on Ana's voice used for that one part, like, just Ana's voice in general, like the grunts, the huffs, the whatever noises she's making. That's actually the creator, like the one-man show for this, doing that voice. And I honestly, at first, before I knew that, was like, this actually sounds like a real voice actor doing this. Like, this is quality. This isn't just like, somebody just randomly recorded it. Didn't feel very unprofessional. It felt genuine to this. And so again, gotta give credit to Sandra for this. Creator of this. Writer. I assume programmer. Artist. Now voice actor for Ana. 5 things. Wow. And back to the story. If I can hit the enter button.
I'm sorry, boss. I'm not hungry today either.
In the great realm of Akazor, where the very essence of reality was distorted to make flowers carry messages over the whole continent, and a single king had ruled since the gods had fought wars in the skies, Ader not being hungry for a whole week didn't sound plausible at all. Okay, so that is a full sentence.
Fine, it's not that I'm not hungry, but, you know, it's always the same. Potato this, potato that. Couldn't you get, I don't know, dates, for example?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Too much word
pigs.
puns.
How about honey pastries?
Oof. Don't make me hungry, Ader. Please don't make me hungry. I just had lunch. The merchant was filthy rich, and he would have indulged in such delicacies if he hadn't been too tired of his worldly life to bother chewing, and too cheap to buy actual food to fill the pantry. So Ader's meager allowance came from Ana's own, totally legit, unspecified source of income, which neither Illigrab nor Ader had probably ever thought about. And if she didn't pay for it, they would starve to death. Good job, merchant. Good job helping out here. But why this? Why now? When did Ader get so picky? He'd never had any problem eating the same stuff over and over before. He was thankful that he got to eat at all.
I'm never gonna get to eat fancy stuff again, am I?
I'm never gonna eat again. Guilty potatoes got no rhythm. Oh, why did I think of that? Thought I was gonna make a good joke out of that. Where did he even get to try it in the first place? Yeah, I mean, all he's done is live with Gyaf, from all we know. And how did he get swole? Will be updated to not be so swole, but how did he get so strong?
And that's when I told the king, bite me. You should have seen my father's face. His leaves dried right up. I spent a whole moon literally grounded.
Can't think of anybody bigger than Ilgrab. Oof. What a weird transition.
What do you mean you don't remember who broke into the warehouse?
Man, I think it's just my computer being super laggy with loading another video, but yeah, like the transitions are like a bit more lagged now.
I don't know, Master. It's like the memory had vanished from my mind.
I'm gonna vanish you from existence!
Oof. The classic punching noises. Both deer began clashing horns while Ader and Illigrab stared at the
Can you
scene.
believe that?
What, violence?
I know! Can't deer go 10 minutes without starting a fight? No offense, kiddo.
No,
Social commentary.
Making someone forget something just like that.
Oh. But yeah.
Sorry, Ader.
Don't believe
I
the
don't have
social
time to get
signal.
into philosophical debates. Those two have just earned themselves a free ride to the dungeon.
Oh boy. That escalated quickly. The stroll took an unexpected direction towards the city's guard main tower in the northeastern quarter of the inner walls. It was the second highest tower in the city, with ceilings tall enough that Ayokay could walk inside. Ader had to go fetch Gyaf from there every so often, so he was relatively welcome as long as he had Ayokay by his side.
Take it to
Classic
court
Gyaf.
next time. Street fights are strictly prohibited. Are we clear?
Both of the prisoners uttered a disheartened "yes, sir," and Ayokay nodded to himself.
Hey, Ilgrab, I was wondering, you can throw anyone in the dungeon, right?
Well, I wouldn't say anyone, but I do have a pretty good grasp on Heirloom's populace, if I may say so myself. Hey, I could even set you up in a pretty cell if you ever want to leave Goff's place.
Oh my god, I've been pronouncing heirlooms. Hold on, let me replay it because I've been pronouncing it earloom.
Well, I wouldn't say anyone, but I do have a pretty good grasp on Heirloom's populace.
Oh,
if I may say
heirlooms.
so
Oh,
myself.
that makes much more
I
sense.
could even
Okay.
set you up in a pretty cell if you ever want to leave Goff's place.
All right. Heirlooms, like an heir to the throne. Okay, now I got it, and I'm not gonna mispronounce it. Hopefully, again.
No, it's not that. I was just wondering if you'd seen a... never mind.
Never
there we go.
mind. What's that? Some kind of flower?
Probably in your world.
In the kingdom.
The conflict. God damn it. Why did I have to lag? No, stop lagging. I need to stop recording when I'm condensing my videos. Clink, clink, clink went the hammer in Ana's forge. But there was another incessant noise. It sounded like the bellows that lit up the furnace. Late nights searching for Seth, where you ended up trying to call Jasif instead. Its source was, of course, Ader looking out of the window, sighing like he wanted to empty his lungs. With a semi-nocturnal roommate and what may count among the 10 worst beds in the world, dozing off, spacing out, or generally getting distracted in his job was nothing out of the ordinary for Ader. Sighing, however, that was definitely out of the norm, and he'd been doing that an awful lot lately. Stranger yet, Ader hadn't noticed that Ana had been standing right behind him for quite a while now.
Huh? Oh, boss, right. Word work. Sorry, I kinda dozed off right there.
Seriously, I would totally love to see Sandra maybe do some voice acting in this just for the heck of it. I don't care how good or how well she sounds. I just feel like she could do this. Just from these grunts and stuff, I feel like she has a voice acting voice. That's just me. But that may be just me. I don't know. I think she's doing great. Sorry. Thunk, thunk, thunk went Ader's hammer, and yet Ana wouldn't leave his side.
Anything else?
The love triangle begins. Ana put a hand over Ader's in what may have been the most confusing gesture this side of Lake Zal. Yeah, Lake Zal. Ader looked down at it rather blankly, only to find that he was holding the hammer by its head. I would love to see a drawing of that, please. Somebody do this. Clink, clink, clink with the hammers. And it wasn't reassuring at all. Smooth transition for once. Restless, concerned, God's forbid worried. These were all adjectives that clearly did not apply to Ana. But for some reason, she kept passing a tiny, ugly potato from hand to hand as she stared at the city from her home, thinking about the small fortune it had cost someone. Not her, but someone. You'd think that the deer would have settled their capital in the beautiful prairie where they could graze and indulge in hedonism. That the whole world looked something like the village Ader wouldn't shut up about. But no. A massive lack of foresight, coupled with Ayokay's stubbornness and the insistence of their king that heirloom growing in the middle of a steppe between the enormous Lake Zal and the Alar Sea. Oh no, I wanted to see the map still. Moving on. With barely any space for bush pens in the proximities, infertile fields and a million souls to feed, food was neither cheap nor readily available in the capital, hogged by those that needed it the least. Anyway, point is that Ader was a poor, starving deer, and Ana wasn't willing to put up with this anymore. Perhaps he's sick. Perhaps he just needs better food. Oh boy, this is going to really change the root of things. I heard chapter 2 is where things start to become non-linear. These are tough choices. Perhaps he's sick. Perhaps he just needs better food. I feel like perhaps he just needs better food is like brushing off like the real problem. And I feel like if perhaps he's sick, we're going to start like following him more into like what's going on in his head and find out about Seth. I really want to do perhaps he's sick, but I don't want Ana to get hurt. Feeling too hard for this. Feeling too many feels for this. Alright, and we are gonna do perhaps he's sick. Some small maroon spots on the potato's skin alerted Ana that the potato she'd chosen probably wasn't in the best condition. She was devising the punishment she'd bring upon the merchant that could have endangered Ader's life with diseased food. She had a small epiphany. Perhaps Ader wasn't being an imbecile. Perhaps he was just sick. So she's smiling. Yes. You so precious when you smile. She looks great when she's smiling though. Like, gotta give that. Like, she's definitely a moody character, but yeah, when she's smiling, okay, bring out the full sunshine of her, I guess. What am I saying? Anyway, Ada didn't have the foggiest idea about medicine, but she figured that it couldn't be too different from fixing any other thing in the world. She just had to figure out what piece was malfunctioning. And she knew where to look. Red put some red spots on the potato. That's what I'm thinking. Quiet, furtive footsteps. The only sound disrupting the consuming silence that filled the temple of Hira once the night fell and honest folks left the streets. Any thief that was dumb or brave enough to target such an old place of worship would have been surprised to see that not a single fire burned in the whole temple after the sunset. Not in the courtyard, not in the offertory, not in the library where someone was meticulously looking through shelves filled with books and clay tablets that threatened to crumble into dust at any moment. Ana sets her sights on an interesting named volume. Besakerna Ketina Pnetankinet. Besakerna Tekapnet. I can't say it. This is too many words for me. Roughly translating to Cernar as Anatomy of Barhans and Canes. Anatomy of Barhans and Canes. I can't even say the easy stuff now because of it. Basar. Wait. Okay, so that's why Cernar is like. So that's why Ader could be like, yeah, rushing things when he speaks more. Like, literally, the words don't have spaces in them. In Ana's humble opinion, as an observer removed from the art of talking, society improved a little the day the Northerners introduced the concept of breathing between words. I feel you there, and I was victim to in the prior thing. The book coughed a small puff of fine sand upon being opened, but it looked otherwise pretty well conserved. Ana began shuffling through the pages quickly, looking for the part that interested her. The revolting innards of a British deerfolk, a most thoughtful and impartial evaluative treaty, would be a rather forgiving translation for the title of the chapter she was about to read. The anatomy. Oh, research unlock. So it's not just characters, we just unlock things. Cool. But that's the stuff in the dictionary or whatnot. Anyway, the reason for Ader's strange behavior had to be written somewhere around. She just had to narrow down the source of the ailments.
Who dares into my lair?
Dad? Or I think the merchant's her dad. I think that's what they said last time. I may be wrong. Ana slammed the book shut, startled. She growled softly to let him know it was just her as she left the book on a nearby table.
You stupid spendthrift! What are you doing to my precious books?
The merchant explored the room with his cane, trying to make his way towards Ana. He picked up the tome that Ana was reading, making sure that every page was where it was supposed to be.
Huh! The pages are bent! Are you just reading this? Wait, you?
Angry
reading?
parents.
Are you sick, child?
If he is her father, then... oof, he's one of those parents. One of those. Makes my blood boil. Ana would have loved to tell her father, yep, got it, that she had hobbies and interests, and that he knew nothing about her, and that she hated reading, and that dyeing her hair green wasn't just a phase. Dad. It's not a phase. The merchant continued examining the book. He ran his bony fingers along the engraved inscription on the spine of the book.
What do you need an anatomy book for anyway?
Reasons? The old man paused for a second, considering his own question.
I'm gonna unman that bespalling tallow catch!
Wait, what? Okay. Okay. The merchant stormed off as fast as his nearly fossilized legs led him, leaving Ana to her own devices. She opened the book once more, passing a few pages just for mere curiosity, until she stumbled upon the very last chapter. Bloodlust. A concise summary of the geological evidence for the existence of the gruesome savage beasts, speculations, and imaginations of their appearance. Oh no. We're gonna get evil doggos. Please, no. I love my doggos. Ana just closed the book and dropped it on the ground. A marine breeze blew over the streets of Heirloom, got it, the next day, sweeping away some of the hot steppe dust and suffocated the city. Akazor was 2 moons well into dawn soon already, and it was coming to an end little by little. It was lunchtime, and Ana couldn't stop thinking about the previous night. The book recommended great doses of fresh air, relaxation, and a vitamin-rich soup for all ailments. Ana didn't know what vitamins meant, but she understood the concept of soup. She also understood most other concepts she'd read about him once they popped up in her mind. She no longer had the mental capacity to make a soup. Oh. Carrying a small mountain of uncooked, misshapen potatoes, dried seaweed, and several bulbous roots, Ana made her way through the corridors of her home in search of her apprentice. A cloud or two could be seen in the big blue sky, white and puffy, off to conduct whatever business a cloud could have so close to her home. The once great temple of Harub, the abandoned residence of a god that left in a tantrum after the Barhan rebellion. Not the most elegant farewell, but her father always said that gods need no manners, and that old geezer clearly knew all about that. The lack of manners, I mean. He knew a thing or two about gods as well, but he much preferred to spend his time cursing them for his longevity. Just let me die already. There he went with his usual friends.
Burn the Siffy! This time we'll get him for good!
The Siffy. Okay.
Ada! Second-class daughter of a hero-praying beast! Quit whiffle-waffling and do something about this! I know you're somewhere around here, you fusty lugs! Ada!
What? How does he hate his daughter this much?
Oh no! He's casting some kind of spell! Hurry up!
What's even happening? Ana just stared idly at the mob carrying her father away, off to a pyre that would forever magically fail to end the poor man's life. A question resurfaced in Ana's mind. It was Ader's, pondering aloud whether Ana's father was hated a little more or a little less for purchasing and desecrating the temple of a god that most people despised anyway. She took a moment to consider this as she walked into the sunlight. Sacrilege is kind of a global standard, I suppose. Or sacrilege. Yeah, sacrilege. I can't believe I mispronounced that. Cue Ader, mopping all by himself in the courtyard. Or moping. Jesus Christ. Am I having an aneurysm? Tennessee says a bunch of aneurysms. I'm starting to have one myself. Anyway, Ana tensed up her shoulders and stretched out the food plate, attempting to pass the dish as something casual that she didn't go out of her way and spent her personal earnings to buy. Once more, instead of happily proceeding to choke on this payment for helping out in the forge, Ader took a long, empty look at the food. He sighed and looked away.
Sorry, boss. I'm just not hungry.
So he'd said time and again during his last few moons, but Ader had always ended up giving up and eating, less and less every time, however. Anna waited patiently to no avail. Once she got tired of that, she took a carrot in front of his face, hoping to stir his curiosity with the new, shocking ingredient. No answer. So there she was, shaking a rattle in front of a giant one-eyed baby that refused to eat. With a man bun, too, of all things. The real children. People with man buns. If people know me in real life see this, they're gonna kill me. Seeing that, God, diplomacy didn't work, she poked his snout with said carrot. I shake the world poking you with this carrot. She poked and poked until it ended up in his nose.
Are you happy now?
Anna's total desperation was purposely ignored by Ader, so a poor carrot was snapped in two for his sins. Recollections of the anatomy book began appearing in her mind. She didn't want to believe it, but perhaps all those noises weren't sighs, but Ader's tremendously pathetic mating call. Ooh. She stared at Ader from behind the mountain of food as he rubbed his snout. Yes, she read something about that. What a shameful display. Showing off his nose to a pure maiden to entice her. Oh boy. Mixed messages. But she had to stay strong. That wasn't the time to let her heart flutter under the very self-indulgent assumption that Ader was somehow interested in getting to know her better. Aina was no Hakim, Aina was no Hakim, but she knew the profession well. She needed to confirm her suspicions based on the symptoms before giving a diagnosis. About to mispronounce that too. Blush, heart, pants. Aina realized this was very inappropriate and stopped. Pants. I got split. I'm like, do I want to go more self-oriented route, or do I want to do a more mixed route where it's like you get both of them interested, or even one that leads towards Aina? This is tough. Like, now that chapter 2 is more non-linear decisions, I'm like starting to be like, this is gonna change everything with every decision. I'm gonna go with the least awkward one. I would probably say the heart. The book had talked at length about the feelings associated with such a state. Heart racing, palpitations, and extreme warmth would be the most characteristic ones, and they should be obvious to the touch. And hopefully I didn't have to, hopefully I didn't miss something and end up being like, oh, it mentioned, oh, the book said the brain or something, or the pants or whatever. I'd be so bummed with that. Okay, so what does it say? Touch. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Just heart to chest, or hand to chest. Anna looked at her palms. Well, actually she didn't. They were covered in bandages. She just looked thoughtfully in their general direction. I spit in your general direction. She wouldn't bare her hands for him. Not now. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Her ears weren't covered, though. Perhaps she could listen to his heartbeat. He could just put her face to his chest and... Wait, she couldn't listen to his heartbeat with her face buried in his chest. Gotta get all up in that chest. Ah, shoot. Is this one where we could just do all the options until we get to this is inappropriate and stop? I'm gonna go with blush. The book stated quite specifically that one of the most obvious external signs of the illness was a flush of red spreading through her face and possibly chest. Anna put her face close to Ader's, looking for that blush. Ader's face went red immediately. Got him. Anna nodded to herself. It had to be a bad case. He was even going a little cross-eyed. How can you tell with one eye, though? Maybe this isn't a non-linear decision. Maybe this is just check him out in as many ways as he can. And I'm liking this. Let's do pants. Anna's wanton eyes followed the trail of dark, curly hair that zigzagged from the gorgeous brunette's chest all the way to the end of his toned stomach. There was a problem, no doubt. A problem in his pants. Title, maybe? I'm probably gonna do that. Hey, wait. That doesn't happen until chapter 10. No fourth wall breaks. Oh my goodness, if you have to wait till chapter 10, this is gonna be a very, very long anticipation of my fanfiction. Whew. Wait, of this, like, this being the fanfiction? Or a different fanfiction? Now I'm wondering. Anna was actually just thinking that Ader's pants were several sizes too wide for him. Yeah, wide. He'd lost a ton of weight since they first met. Living with only one meal a day will do that to you. And he looks downright gaunt as of late. Wait till the new art. That's what I'll write anyway. He knows. Ada completed the examination and nodded, nose and ears twitching as she giggled to herself. So bubbly with that smile. God, I love Ada's smile. Playing Hakim is great.
Places to grope, you perv.
Come on, Ader. Don't take it seriously like that. You're friends. Alright. Oh, Harub, this could have been a very, very different book. The self-awareness is perfect, just to say. Anna updated. Oh, multiple updatings. Alright. Anna channeled her embarrassment and indignation in a way that was not deserved, but not uncalled for. Ader got a swift punch to his face, and, as was the norm for her, Anna ran away before she got a chance to see his reaction. Hit and run. The classic fighter move. And we've been going on for about 43 and a half minutes at this point. I'm probably going to stop it here and then continue this chapter next time on the Hayseed Night. Take care, guys.